Dan Quinn spoke for nearly 30 minutes on his first, Wednesday press conference. I guess second because last week, but first one after a game. So Wednesday's this weird day as someone who used to be a beat reporter because you have all this stuff that you want to ask from the weekend. You've had a chance to watch the tape, which is not the case the last time you talked to the coach, although that might change a little bit more this year. This is like a low-key thing to watch with the NFL Pro stuff. Now that most of the people that actually watch film will have watched it by Monday because it's available at 6 a.m. versus the rest of us waiting on Game Pass for it to publish at noon on Tuesday if we were lucky and it was on time. I do wonder if the Monday pressers get a little better because there's just stuff that you can see on tape that the coaches would have seen that we would then ask on Wednesday. And it's funny because by Wednesday, the coaches are all full steam ahead. Hey, no, I'm focused on, Dan Quinn hit you with it. I'm focused on New York right now. We're not looking back. Dan doesn't really seem like that stylistically, but Jay would do that. Ron would do that. And that's not shots at those dudes because a lot of coaches around the league, the old Belichick, we're on to Cincinnati, doing that bit. But by Wednesday, they're ready to focus on the next one. They've done their game review. They've flushed it. They've had Tell the Truth Monday. But it is a chance to kind of ask, hey, what happened on this, with this player? Did you get medical stuff back? What now, hey, this player that didn't play on Sunday, what is it? So it's kind of this cool, not cool, but it's this pivot day in terms of the press conferences and all that stuff. So a couple of big things that Dan Quinn got asked about today. Let's start off with Emmanuel Forbes. He left the game on Sunday. That is indisputable. That much we know. The last play he played, he picked up a double penalty. It was a pass interference and a face mask, and he didn't see the field again. However, there was also rumblings that there was an injury situation with that it wasn't just for performance. Noah Igbenogany had been in and out of the lineup prior to that and then permanently replaced Forbes after that play. So, Dan Quinn, answer the question, sir. What the heck happened with Emmanuel Forbes on Sunday, and what can we say about him moving forward?
Yeah, he banged up his wrist, and so he'll have a splint on that today. We got good news; it's not going to knock him out, but he is going to, wear a splint on that wrist to help protect that today, and we'll work it through the week. And like Emmanuel, like a number of the guys, man, we're working really hard to develop him. Would he want some plays back? You bet. But I'd also say this is a young player that we're developing and working with him, and so he's improving and going to improve. So that's where we're at on that, John.
I think the hard thing with Forbes is going to be how much are you working to develop him on the field and how much are you working to develop him in practice, because you can't live with what he's giving you on the field. And if he's going to play like he did on Sunday, I don't know that Dan Quinn's going to live with that because I don't think that he competed at the level that Dan expects. But the problem is the drop-off. Benjamin St. Juste is already playing out of position as a number one corner. And we've known that for a long time. And I actually genuinely feel bad for Benjamin because he's a good corner who is a fine number two. You're not oh, heck yeah, Benjamin St. Juste is our number two corner. But if Benjamin St. Juste is definitively your number two corner, you're we can live with this. We can have him be out there competing, and we'll do what we need to do help wise, and if we need to shadow a number one with a legit number one corner, that's fine. So if, say, I don't know, they had drafted Christian Gonzalez last year, like the whole world wanted them to, instead of Emmanuel Forbes, the guy that they drafted, the Benjamin St. Juste discussion is different. When you make a little tiny mistake against Mike Evans, the results are different than even Jalen McMillan. Who obviously got the Commanders a couple times on Sunday, but as a rookie, receiver and a third guy, he got coverage bust benefits. He's not up there ripping balls away and focusing through good coverage where hands in the way of the catch in the same way that Mike Evans was, and that's unfortunately been the story of Benjamin St. Juste last couple of years. So you're already playing St. Juste out of position as a CB1 instead of CB2, if you will. Then you have the reality that Igbenogany is, while he competes his face-off, is worse, or did not have as good of a camp in terms of consistency of high-level play that even Forbes did, and Michael Davis was below both those dudes, and that's the dude you signed in free agency. So I don't know what the plan is there, especially if Emmanuel's hurt. I almost am give him a week off, although if you're going to have him face the Giants, do you want him coming back against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? I don't know. Their schedule is a nightmare at the wide receiver position, or for their corners because they're playing such great wide receivers. But that is that is where we stand on this Wednesday. We'll obviously see what happens with Emmanuel on Friday. It sounds like he's going to play, but what's that rotation like? That we probably won't know until Sunday. What would help Emmanuel Forbes and Benjamin St-Juste and Noah Igbenogany and the entire secondary is more pass rush. So are they going to get that from the inside with the re-addition of Johnny Newton? What is the status of the Commanders' second-round pick? Here's DQ.
When you're coming back from this, you may see him out today, but that's to set up for tomorrow. So we pushed it hard with him, conditioning that yesterday, hold today, but we wanted the padded day for him till tomorrow. And then so we're trending in the right way, much like we were talking about with Noah. We'll kind of have a better sense for when we get to Friday, but he's definitely trending in the right spot. So we're close for sure. And but I'll trust my eyes and make sure he's going through all the whole process to get ready. But he's definitely pushing it hard to get into this mix.
I mean, that would be nice. I think most people were on Sunday going, who is number 64? And that is not an ideal place to be in week 1 of an NFL season, is figuring out, is that, who, I don't know that player, especially if you paid attention, especially if, say, you cover the team. Because that was me going, wait, who's 64? Sheldon Day. They signed him to the practice squad, after cuts. And he was the guy they brought up. So definitely much more ideal once they can get Johnny Newton out there. And hopefully can immediately step in and play at a decently high level, certainly higher than what they're getting. It does make you kind of, I don't want to say scratch your head or second guess. I wonder if they wish they had held on to John Ridgway a little longer. Probably not, because they're not short-terming anything. And I actually approve of that for whatever my approval is worth, which is, I mean, you're listening to the show, so it's worth something. But at the end of the day, Big Phil's going to have to continue to step up. They're going to have to get more pass rush and finish from John and Duran. And then obviously, hopefully, these outside guys can play better when they're not having to pass rush against Tristan Wirfs, who might be the best left tackle not named Trent Williams in all of football. Last but not least, wide receiver position was definitely a stunner on Sunday when the inactive list came out. And it's like, oh, Noah Brown's not playing at all. He's inactive. How is the acclimation process going for him? And can we expect to see him as soon as this Sunday?
Where do you kind of see him fitting in now that you've seen sort of the other pieces from one game? How do you kind of see him fitting in moving forward?
Yeah, we really see that trending in the right way. And so Noah worked really hard to kind of, offense, you can imagine all the system to get down to go, but he's worked really hard to that. So, we're definitely trending in the right space for him to get up and be ready. So he's definitely chomping at the bit and was certainly wanting to last week as well. But best thing, let's make sure we continue that. But, yeah, he's really trending in the right direction on that then.
And it's important to remember for Brown, not only is he acclimating to the playbook and all that kind of stuff, he also is coming off an injury. So to me, that answer sounds like some of this is much more injury related than it is, he doesn't know the playbook yet because he just got here, et cetera, et cetera.
Hey, this is DA, and you're listening to The Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.